is, you know what it is?
Yourself.
Ourselves. Everything started from here. The biggest thing is right between here. And also the biggest challenge is right between here. It's what you do with it. See, when your business is up, it's easy to have great attitude. It's excited, you're excited. But when your business is down, it's what you do with it that will make you or break you. You know, one of the things I really, really admire about Samson, Tina, and Winnie, their persistence is unbeatable. Rain or shine, you'll find them out there. Doesn't matter if people say no to them, doesn't matter if people quit, guess what? You know, I'll give you a perfect example. I was having breakfast with my dad, I think yesterday or the day before, whatever. I was sharing with my dad, I said how happy I was, and I was telling my dad. My dad said, wow, Tina's good. I said, Dad, most people only see the fruit. They don't see the challenges that she went through. There are many times you go to any meeting, people saw Tina, they went the other way. Tina, don't come to the meeting. Don't go to our meeting. Don't. I mean, there are people, but did she care? She act as, I mean, no, she doesn't act. She does as if she don't hear what people say. She still goes on. You don't want to hear about it, it's okay. I still talk anyway. It's a free country. See, you got to get to a point where you do not care what people say about you. You got to get, I mean, you got to get, some people are afraid to ask for discount. Some people are afraid to ask for this because what? Oh, I'm thin-skinned. That has nothing to do with your skin. Thick or thin, the same thing. See, it's our internal, see, a lot of people, we tend to internalize what people are saying to us. I mean, it's a perfect example. We had a family gathering yesterday. If going back in my younger days, I probably would have internalized a lot of things. There's some of my siblings say about this and say about that. I could have chose to and internalize what they say about whatever. But I don't. I have become wiser. I cross a line. See, most people, when anybody, your prospect, say anything about you, we tend to take that stuff and we put it in our brain and we made it bigger than life. And our action act towards it as if it's bigger than life. And I hope it's not too complicated for you guys to understand. Is this coming across so far? So obstacles, we all have them now. There are indeed some challenges. If there's some issues, we will sit down, we'll deal with the issue, we'll find solution. But if other stuff, I suggest you get over it. And you got to be one thing, got to be very good on. One of the basics is be persistent. Okay? You have to be persistent. And be coachable. I remember Winnie had a leading on in the business a couple of months ago. When the business dipped, I told Winnie, I said, Winnie, you know what you need to do? Go brand new. Go get some new blood. And you know now, obviously, some people will say, well, where am I going to get my new blood? I've been doing this for a year. I exhaust my warm market. You know what Winnie said? Okay. And you know what she did? She went and found a whole bunch of new blood. It's what you put in here, guys. See, most of us walk around every day, so you got to be coachable. And in the success, I can see all the successful people, they're extremely coachable. Some of you are thinking, how in the world am I going to find new people? There is magic when you believe in something. And I'll give you several examples. One of my hobbies on Sundays is to walk. You know, I love to, you know, I used to live in North San Gabriel, which is very close to San Marino. And some of you know San Marino is very, you know, leafy, very well-established community, and I love San Marino. And so I would get myself on Sunday, I mean, a lot of people going dating and all that stuff. I was single, so what I do on Sundays, I would leave the house at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll get lost until 5, 6 o'clock. And I'll be walking around with walk back then, we don't have any iPod or anything like that, we had the Walkman back then, okay? So I'll be with my Walkman jogging around all over San Marino. And I know all the houses.
Beautiful houses there.
And I still remember, my mom and dad would say to me, you know what, why don't you just stop dreaming? Why don't you put your feet firmly grounded on the floor and be real? Why do you have to be like, look, we have a decent house in San Gabriel, but why are you so crazy? You don't even make enough money to support yourself. Why don't you wake up? But I refuse. I said, Mom, you know, I see those people pulling out from the driveways. I said, they don't look any smarter than me. They don't look any better than me. So I said, I am going to get there one of these days. And she just thought I was nuts. But I kept believing. You know what? And I told myself, those were down times. When I was down, you know what I did? I keep telling myself, I don't know how, but I know I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. I don't know how. If you ask me at that time, I don't even have enough money to go on vacation, let alone be a multi-millionaire. Are you with me so far? So I had to plan it so firmly in my head. I said, one of these days, I'm going to make it. But along the way, I'm not going to quit. I'm very conscious of what's happening around me. And you know what? I did it. Sometimes you don't know how. I still remember, I told myself, I said, I'm going to build a massive organization. I see these people build big teams before. I said, I too am going to do that. I said, someday I'm going to be on stage speaking to tens and thousands of people. When I haven't even spoken in front of 100 people. But I had put that in my head. But you know what? I did it. I had the pleasure of traveling to all these countries. Why? Because I believe in it. I didn't care. You need to really put that, but when you believe in something, a lot of people say, well, I can't find them. How am I going to find them? You know what? I pretty much exhausted all my warm market. But I still managed to build the biggest Hispanic team in that company. My first MLM company, I built the biggest Hispanic team, and I built the biggest team in Hawaii. I don't know a soul in Hawaii. I don't know anybody that are Hispanic. I just had that belief that I'm going to do it. So you know how I got the biggest Hispanic group? From a courtesy driver at Russ Neck, Pasadena. He was a shy courtesy driver. He led me to one of the pastor at his church. From the pastor, led me to one of this guy. Then we chased a big, huge group. And so when you have that belief, something magical happens that will lead you there. Like Winnie, Robert, and I, in the previous company, we went to Korea. And some of you heard the story, and I will tell the story again. We went to Korea for my first time to Korea. And I went there for a bit, and Robert and Winnie were with me to traveling to Asia, and so one of the stops was Korea. And so I told myself, man, I went there to recruit a big fish. At least that's what I was told. So I thought to myself, man, it's a pretty expensive trip, not in terms of money, but time-wise, away from my family to go all the way for one big fish. So I told them, I said, you know what? I am going to, no matter what, I'm going to find another big fish. They said, do you speak Korean? No. Do you know anybody in Korea? No. But I said, I'm going to find a big fish, another big one. I said, I just know, because it's too costly for me to go. I said, I'm going to find another big fish. I just want to go for one. So I put that in my head. Logically, people will ask, how? What do you think? How are you going to do that? People will challenge you. But I just kept it to myself. I said, I will, somehow, somewhat, some way. I just put that thought out there. And you know what? I did find a huge fish, bigger than the one that I went to Korea for. You know how I found that person? It was a person sitting next to me on the airplane. And she spoke English and Korean. She's going back home for a visit. So the point to you is, how would I have known I would meet her on the plane? I didn't know. I had set that goal in my mind that I'm going to do it. So you guys need to really, if you wanted something, you set it in your head. Don't look at, a lot of people are afraid to set goals. A lot of people are afraid to make decisions. They all just look at what they have right now. Oh, how am I going to do that? I'm broke. How am I going to, all these reasons. Don't. Set a goal and be willing to do it and shoot for it. If you have momentum in one team, you're going to be like, if you are a leader, you're going to be like a hawk to chase that team and explode that team. Don't just sit and wait for people to do it for you. You are a leader, you need to step up as a leader. If you are a leader, don't be a follower. You step up and say, listen, what can I do for you? Some of you are very lucky that you sponsor a good leader. But you know what? Be a good sponsor. Be a nurturing sponsor. Don't just expect someone always to do it for you. See, when your team member, they see that your love, your care, your sacrifices, guess what? That love reciprocates. So is this coming across to you guys? Is helping you guys so far? Yes. Okay, very good. So overcoming obstacles. And the other thing is you have to be very good at, this is very, very key, guys, to succeed. You need to be super consistent. Some of you get so pumped up every time after training. You get so pumped up, you're excited for about 2-3 days. Then you disappear for a while. You do a little bit work, and then, because of challenges, guess what? You disappear for a while. Then another training 2 months later, you come back and pump up again. Don't. you need to be consistent. If you know, like just like a well, right? Where's the water? The water's in the bottom, okay? Here's a pump. If you're going to pump water, in the beginning, you might not see any water coming out, pumping a lot of air coming out, okay? No water yet. But don't worry, the water's slowly being sucked up. You pump and you pump. Guess what? Somebody say, there's no water. And you let go of the lever. Guess what happens to the water that's sucking up? Pump it down. If you keep doing that, no water, you leave. No water, you leave. Can't get nowhere. Can't succeed. You got to be consistent. You got to, you know what? I only wish there's a magic capsule that people take it and they be consistent. I only wish. There is, if anybody that would exemplify the epitome of consistency, it's human nature. But there's with one person that's the epitome of consistency. You know who that is? At least so far in this team, that is Samson. Samson is Mr. Consistency. People, no people, doesn't matter. One person, 3 people, 5 people, there he is. Always there for his team. Rain or shine. I call him Mr. Patience. I said, wow, you have so much patience. He will work and work and work and talk and talk. I only sometimes wish to say, you know what, Samson, you got to use your time wisely. But consistency pays off. His love, his caring, and what a perfect example. Mr. Lino, right here. Okay? He is extremely persistent with Lino. But Lino need to step it up. You got to be consistent. And if you don't quit, you'll be big. Now I see Lino cycle a few times a day now, at least, right? Because you know why? He kept digging, he kept digging his team. He finally hit it. Question is, are you willing to dig? Are you willing, give yourself this program, give yourself a good 1 year. Give yourself a good 1 year to chase it, but do it the proper way. Do it the right way. Okay? So you need to have consistent effort and be persistent. You got to be persistent at what? At your dreams. Don't get all excited, hyped up. The next thing you know, dip down. You need to stay at even kill. When people say no to you, you know what you need to be excited about? People say, well, all my team is dead. What should I be excited about? You know what I said? You should be excited about you found a vehicle for you to turn your life around. You're excited about your opportunity. When people say no to you, your dreams got to be bigger and better than your team. Most people put their dream, their dream, their team, same or below what their team say about them. You got to rise above that. You have to rise above that. So, can you all stick with the game and be consistent to your game? See, only you can say the answer. I don't know. Yes. Can you guys do that?
Yes.
Will you do that?
Yes.
See, will you be loyal and be faithful to your own dream and your own vision? Because you need that. You need your vision, you need your dream to keep you going. Because just like anything in life, there's that roller coaster, the ups and downs. But you must have the courage to face those fears. You have those courage. When you're down the valley, don't park there. Get out of there as soon as possible. And take massive action. If your group don't move, they don't plug in, drop them. Don't let them drag you down. You go find some new ones. There are a bunch of new ones. A bunch of them. Question is, are you willing to go through the numbers to find them? But you got to be willing to open your mouth and talk to people and talk to people and talk to people. Okay? So, first, how much money you want to make? This is what, we are in September. We're in September, right? September 12th. Okay, we still have, by the end of this month, how much money would you like to make? You need to set that goal yourself.
1 million.
Now, we got to be realistic, okay? 1 million, is it doable? That's not doable. Not possible, okay? So, but you got to set goals that are within reach. These are called baby steps to get there, okay? So, November and December. Now, these goals, that's the money you set to make, right? The other part's very important. These are goals. These are actions. What kind of action are you willing to give? What kind of action are you willing to take to make it happen? I want to make 10,000 by the end of September. What are you willing to do? I don't know. You got to be willing to take some actions. You know, what would, besides having that belief, you know what would get people to take the action? I see so many people, they are trapped in their own shell. They are completely trapped in their own thoughts, in their own shell, in their own fear. You really have to get good at opening up those shells and jump out. Because if you don't jump out, it's hard for you to succeed. I mean, it's fine for you to make, you know, $5,000 a month, that's a small amount of money. It's fine to do that. $10,000 a month is okay. But if you really want a big money, you really got to jump out. You know the Superman, Superwoman, the movie back in the old days, right? Superwoman or Superman, when he puts on a suit, he's a whole different guy. Otherwise, what's his name? Clerk or Clark? What's his name? Clark? Clark is a nerd, right? But when he puts on a Superman, he's like totally different person. You guys need to put on that suit of that hero of who you think you are, who you believe you are. See, most people wear their own suits of they themselves label their own selves as who they are. But you know what? I believe there's a higher consciousness in you to put on that suit. You've got to jump out of your own shell. I always, when I start working with Samson, I say, Samson, get out of your shell. You still cover all your shell. Most people, we all have it. We all have these egos among ourselves. We all have our own thoughts about who we are and all this stuff. Our pride, our ego, our thoughts, all this stuff. Our own fear. When people say anything, we have things to judge back and to answer back. No need. Let go, drop all this ego. And say, listen, today I'm a brand new person. I'm going to jump out of myself. And I'm going to do something with myself. I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be someone. I'm going to be successful. Whatever that success meant to you. And you got to be willing to take massive action. Because I have seen time and time again over the years, in different nationality, different races, different country, it's all the same. It doesn't matter Chinese, Filipino, Asian, American. It doesn't matter. I look out, too many times, most people have so much potential in them, but it's all buried, all covered in layers and layers, years and years of whatever, conditioning from family, from tradition, from yourself, all this layer and layer. It's got to peel like different layers of onion, peel it out, peel it out, peel it out, peel it out. It took me 18 years to peel out all those layers to become who I am today. That's why network marketing is the best self-mastery course. But the most important, the fun part of it is, it's got a compensation plan attached to it. And along the way of self-mastery, self-becoming discovery, you get to help other people. My son said to me a couple of days ago, Mama, you have a lot of money. I want you to spend more time with me. You don't need to work this hard. It's a big sacrifice for me. Winnie knows and Tina knows when I travel, I call home, he doesn't want to talk to me. He says, if you love me, you'll be home with me now. And so it is hard on me. But yes, it's true, I could choose to stay home, but I really feel like I have this sense of responsibility. This company is the owner's baby, it's my baby, it's your baby, it's all of our baby. We want to make this thing work. But the most important work that we all can do is help other people to break through within themselves. Because that's the biggest thing. Once you're able to break through all those layers and layers of whatever we trap ourselves into, you know what? The world is within reach. A lot of people say, Kim, it seems like everything you touch turns to gold. Once you begin to align and remove all those layers and layers of stuff that we all build up over the years, when you're aligned with the universe, you reach out, the world is yours. It doesn't mean that there's no obstacle. It doesn't mean there's no challenges. But it's what you do with the challenges. It's what you do, how you handle them, what you do with it. Like I said, it is so easy to be pumped, to be excited, to be enthusiasm when your check is up, your group is up, and everything's up. But when your check is down, when your team is down, your spirit's low, is anybody say anything to you? Anything, any remotely negative stuff, it could be that straw that will break the camel's back. But the most important of all that we all can do, the message I want to get across today, all the training, all the techniques, all that stuff, nothing is going to do any good until you know what you want. And until you have the belief that you will get through it. And until you jump out of that shell. You have to jump out of your shell. If you want to take charge, you know what? If you got it no, behind Cece. Sorry. Yeah, Jenny, sorry. Jenny has a big team going in Canada. If I were her, a team is moving, that's her pay leg, you know what I would do? I would get my bag, pack my clothes, go there. Take step, take charges. Get out of your Jenny, you know what? She was a great leader at one point. She was all over magazines. But because of whatever happened, I'm sorry to pick on you, Jenny. That's why I had a hard time picking your name because I want to pick on you. But you know what? A lot of people, because of certain things that happen, we bury ourselves with different layers of stuff. If I were her, that's giving her cycles every day. Many cycles every day. Get my suitcase, pack my clothes. Here I go, Canada. You know what? I'm going to pump it bigger. You need to step up to the leader that you once were. Because I know you have it. Same thing with Jane and Ellen. Their team alone in 1 month in the U.S. did close to $200,000 a month. Just in the U.S. Guess what? Because certain thing happened, because of challenges, the group didn't plug in, whatever reason, it collapsed. Now this act, we either make them or break them. They're still here. See, it was easy for Jane and Alan to be pumped, to be excited. Because your adrenaline's running. When your team is all on the rise, you are the talk of town, it's good to be up. But the key is, what would you do when your team is down? Now, human being naturally will say, what would my peers say about me? Before, my whole team is my whole meeting is my team. Now, nobody's my team. What would my peers say about me? It doesn't matter. Because we are here with you. We will cheer you on like you never believe. If you have the courage to come here, to face it again, Jane, you'll build even bigger than before. Same thing with Robert. Robert was $1 million earner. He made $1 million in 2 years. If Robert has what I think he has, he'll be an even bigger team. But the difference is in what Robert's attitude would be, on how he looks at it. He can take a sour look, or he can take it in a positive light and change his life forever again. We all have that. The reason I point these people out, because they are very close to my heart. Some of you are very new, I can see that. Some of you have been here for a while. But you really, really, in life, you know, I hope Jeunesse is your vehicle. But in life, we really need to learn to find purpose in what we do, and have passion in what we do, and be enthusiastic about what we do. People love I present. I don't know all the stuff about product, about everything, but they love it because I have a passion and people can feel it. If I have to stand here to get people $1,000, get a 1-year jumbo, it is not worth my time. They buy a 1-year jumbo that disappeared. I think that's above and beyond. I mean, there is so much work that we could do with the humankind, above and beyond health. There's a lot of things that we can help people to really break out their shell. So the message today really is that we all need to jump out our shell. It may not be right now immediately, but we need to, when you're in a stage, in a mindset where you're down, or you thought about whatever you thought, you just say, take a deep breath and say, listen, what do I want out of life? I'm going to break through. I am not going to label myself one way or the other. I'm not going to think anything, but I'm going to jump out of myself and I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to pursue my dream with every passion you got. Can you do that? Yes. Will you pursue your dream with everything you got? Yes. Along the way, you might make some small sacrifices. But to me, I told my son, you know what? You know, it's not all about money for mama, because I'm doing a lot of work that's far beyond money. And so I do hope that you get something here this afternoon, because it is the most important thing you could do with your life is right between your 2 ears. You're all healthy. I see everybody walking here today. But really, this is your chance. This is your vehicle to do something. And it doesn't matter what it is. Some of you in the beginning, maybe making a few hundred a month, a few thousand a month. Maybe some of you have a aspiration of making a lot of money, making millions. We have it right here. It all depends on what you think and what you do.